YouTube, what's poppin', man? It's your boy, Mr. DoneRight, and you are about to watch the easiest taper on YouTube. Number 2, mid taper. Let's get it.
That boy, Mr. DoneRight, don't miss.
YouTube, what's poppin', man? It's your boy, Mr. DoneRight, tapping in with y'all with another fire tutorial. Today we got my man Chris with me. What we doing today, bro?
2 and a taper fade, man.
2? Low taper. Now y'all know how I feel about low tapers.
So y'all actually don't know how I feel about low tapers, but I'm gonna tell you right now, mid tapers are 100% better than low tapers. Argue with your mama.
Would convince him to try to do the mid taper, but my man been rocking the low taper for a while now.
Mid taper today.
Mid taper? Hey, let's go, let's go. The mid taper, y'all know the mid taper harder than the low taper and it lasts longer. So let's get it, man.
All right, this is the easiest taper on YouTube right here. Man, it don't get no simpler than this, man. I just want to say welcome back to the channel for all the DoneRight family that has been watching. And to any new viewers, I want to say welcome to the channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you find that this video helps you. And man, I'm excited because 2025, I'm gonna be serious with this content, man. I have some fire tutorials for you guys, fire vlogs for you guys, and I'm excited to just see where the journey takes me, man. So let's get into this. I'm using my Oster Octane detachable clippers with a number 2 guard on it, and I'm going against the grain. Detachable clippers are going to cut more even than plastic guards 100% of the time, I promise you guys. So if you don't have a pair, I would definitely invest in a pair, because whenever you're taking off a lot of bulk like this, you're dealing with coarse hair. As you can see, his hair is very dense. Even though in that crown area it looks a little spacey, his hair is thick. It's hard. Pause. Hold up. Pause. That's crazy work. So I'm gonna just knock all of this hair off, right? Make sure everything is cut evenly. I'm making multiple passes over the hair, and then I'll blow dry his hair out just to make sure that there are no loose hairs sticking to his scalp, right? I want to make sure that I have a clean surface. That is very important, guys. Make sure that you're constantly brushing, getting hair that has already been cut off of the head out of the way. So now we're gonna go in with our Babyliss trimmer, and I'm gonna set the back taper's bald line. Where do I set that guideline? I set it at the bottom of the earlobe. Being that this is a mid taper, I do want to make sure that the bald line, the bald space, it is a little wider. It's a little more pronounced, right? So for the temple, I make the bald line where the ear disconnects from the head, okay? So I love the fact that cutting hair, you're able to use reference points on the head in order to create these haircuts. And as you can see here, I'm using the ear as a reference for my back taper and my side taper, my temple tapers, right? That ear is gonna be your reference on where you wanna set your guidelines. Now, every other guideline, you're going to follow the same shape that you created with your bald line. I also want to note that this guideline is going to be the widest guideline. So using my wall seniors, no guard, lever all the way open, I want to make sure that I create a lot of gradients in my fade. And gradients is created whenever there's a lot of detail put between your bald line and your clipper completely open with no guard on it. So that's why I'm making this guideline a little wider, and that's also why I'm gonna pay special attention to that area. I also want to say that I'm stretching the skin by pulling the ear backwards, right? I find that a lot of tapers, they have this kind of clumpy area above the ear because people don't include that in the tapered space, right? I'm gonna go in with my 1.5 and debulk all over the head. I'm debulking especially where the hair is going to be lined up. So in the front, on the C cups, around the ear, all of that. Obviously, I'm gonna debulk up to the occipital bone, and I'm still using that C, that scooping motion, because I don't want to create a harsh line, and I want to make sure that everything is flush. I want it to be perfect. Whenever I was cutting my boy Chris, I wanted to make sure that this haircut was as close to perfect as I could get it. Let me know if this is, you know, a close to perfect haircut, because I don't want to just be saying that and y'all think that it's not, you know. So if you think that this is a 10 out of 10 cut, man, let me know. But that's one of the key tips that I would say is going to make a haircut go from a good haircut to a great haircut, right? Debulking is super important, guys. It's vital. I mean, I think that it's really the easiest way to blend is to just start with your biggest guard that you're gonna use and work your way down. As you can see here, I'm just debulking. I'm erasing hair that I feel like I don't want or I don't need on this haircut, okay? I'm not pressing super hard. I'm not, you know, digging into his head or anything like that. I'm scooping, I'm pressing lightly. I'm not choking the clipper because I want to make sure that I'm not creating a harsh guideline. So just watch me debulk using my one guard around the head, still going around the ear, and we gonna listen to this beat because I feel like I'm finding some fire beats for y'all. Y'all don't understand how hard it is to find good free for profit beats on YouTube, man. Some of them beats aren't exactly what I'm looking for, but you know, I take my time and I look. So just listen to this because I think that this is fire right here.
Mayday, this shit go retarded.
All right, so it's almost like this haircut is so simple. I really don't have to explain this part of what I'm doing. I'm still debulking, I just have a smaller guard on the clipper. There's really nothing complicated to this haircut, at least not yet. I'm literally just picking away dark spots, using my guards, erasing hairs that I don't want. So now is where it gets interesting with the fade, okay? That was all blending and now we're fading. I'm gonna start with my Indus Masters closed and simply just work my way up, connecting the fade zone into the blend zone, right? This is still not complicated at all. I feel like this is pretty basic what I'm doing. And it's pretty clear that I'm just erasing dark hairs that I may see in the fade, dark spots that I may see in the fade, and tying it all together. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm not yanking the clipper. As you can see, my wrist is really loose. I'm not even holding the clipper with all of my fingers. Most times, you know, barbers, they'll hold it a certain type of way. I'm not even doing that with this clipper because that's how light I want the touch to be. That's how light the touch should be whenever you're erasing hair. I'm not pressing hard because I'm not trying to create some type of guideline that I want to be there. I don't want a guideline to be there. So all of the motions in my wrist, my hand, my fingers, everything, it should be soft, man. I find that a lot of barbers, it's really rigid whenever they cut hair, and it reflects in their fade because their fade is choppy, their fade is rigid. So just keep that in mind whenever you're cutting, guys. You want to keep your muscles relaxed. You want to keep a loose hand, a loose wrist, so then that way, you know, your fade could be flush. It could be blurrier, you know. I also want to point out that I did switch clippers on this back taper. I just felt that the wall seniors were giving me more of the effect that I wanted. They were cutting the hair easier on this back taper, and nothing is wrong with that. So, you know, if you have tools, man, use them all. It doesn't matter if you gotta switch clippers. Don't think about it too hard, man. So the wall seniors just gave me more of what I wanted, and they cut this back taper better. That's pretty much the simplest reason why I switched clippers. I really don't want you guys to think about it too hard. But music break again, let's go. All right, so now to the side taper. I'm back using the Indus Masters, and I'm still just flicking. Look how effortless I'm moving this clipper. I'm not putting too much into it, man. It really doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that difficult. One thing that I will point out is that I'm using the corner of the blade. I'm using the right corner of the blade because I'm on the left side of his head, right? So I'm attacking everything with the right side of the clipper, leaving everything else probably like, you know, I probably have 1, 2, maybe 3 teeth on that guard that are actually touching his head. All of the rest of them, they're not even there. Why? Because I'm picking out specific areas on the head that I want to target. I'm pinpointing specific hairs, dark spots, rather than trying to create new guidelines in the head. Now this the fun part, man. I told y'all, let's get into it, bruh. So I'm still debulking around his edge up, just so that way I can get any hairs that are overhanging. And as you can see, he has a pretty decent size widow's peak in the middle, and he also has cowlicks on both sides, so the hair changes directions on both sides of his head. But this is so satisfying to me, man. This beat's so hard though. This might be the hardest beat that I done found for a tutorial in a minute. I ain't gonna lie. But still keeping everything natural, keeping everything dark. I want to point out right here. So you see how we debulked, and now there's no hairs that you can see hanging over. I'll point out something over the front edge up later on where we could have caught the hairs that hang over, but the way that we debulked here, you're not able to see anything, which is good. That's what we want. And can we just take a moment for how smooth this taper is, man? This taper is super, super, super smooth. This that DoneRight. This that done rizzle. Yeah, there. Done rizzle. DoneRight, never wrong. DoneRight, don't miss. Off top. Get with it or get lost. I'm just talking right now. I ain't lying to you. Now we on to the other side. Same process though, guys. Same process. Keeping everything dark. Making sure that it's still natural. And look, it's coming together, man. It's coming together. It's coming together exactly how I envisioned it. So let me ask you guys a question. Do you envision the haircut before you finish? Before you start? So I feel like I envision haircuts before I even start them. And I'm able to see them long before I give the client the mirror and show them the finished product, which allows me to attack the head with confidence. Attack the hair with confidence. Is that a pause moment? That might be pause worthy. I ain't lying. But don't take it like that. Just listen to what I'm saying, because this is good game. You gotta be able to envision what you want to do with the hair before you actually do it. Obviously, there may be obstacles or situations that come up during the service that are unexpected. But whenever you are able to analyze a client that comes in and visualize how their haircut should look whenever they walk out, gives you leverage on how you should attack the haircut. Okay, so just try to visualize how you want the haircut to look, and I think that's gonna help you figure out what it is that you need to do to actually make the haircut look like that. And for this front edge up, I do one side with the vertical bar and C cup, and then I do the other vertical bar and C cup before I connect them across the front. This allows me to make sure that it's symmetrical. The vertical bars are the same length. If the vertical bars are the same length and they start and finish at the same point, your C cups are going to start at the same point, and you're going to be able to just follow that same arch on each side. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And for this front edge up, man, some barbers will say that this is pushback. Some civilians will say that this is pushback, but he does not want his widow's peak. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off. Being that I cut it off, I'm going to start where the hair is darkest at, the lowest point where it is fully dark. Okay, so as you can see, he has two cowlicks on each side of his widow's peak. I want to make sure that I'm breaking this down the right way so that you can understand the difference between a healthy quote unquote pushback with a client who has a hairline like this, rather than just straight up bringing somebody back, right? So as you can see, I'm going to start a little lower than I should. Why? Because I want to make sure that I have some room to bring it back a little bit further if that's what I need to do, right? I don't want to have, a lot of light spaces in my edge up. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing it back a healthy amount to get off the widow's peak, get off some of those hairs that are in the cowlick, but also to not push him back too far. Okay. Those light spots that you see on each side of the widow's peak, those are not from lack of hair, but from the direction of hair changing. Okay, so the hair, instead of coming straight down where the widow's peak is, the hair is going to the right or to the left. So that's where that lightness comes in at. Okay, just keep that in mind, guys. Every hair counts on the edge up and in the fade, obviously, but on the edge up, every hair counts. So even though the hairs they may look like they're not as full or it's not as dense or whatever, you still want to account for those hairs and treat them like, you know, they're full and they're all there. Okay, treat all the hairs with respect. Put some respect on their name. You feel me? So I typically go to the left side. I'm left-handed, so it's just in my nature to go to the left side of the head first. But if someone has one side that is definitely weaker than the other side, go to the weaker side first. Line up the weaker side first, and then connect the stronger side to the weaker side, right? So what I'm saying is that if there's a side of the head with less hair, you want to line up the side with less hair first, keeping it as natural as possible. And then you want to line up the side with more hair, making them even. And this is where I want to point out a pro tip that I did not do on this haircut, but I will do on haircuts going forward. Right here, see how that hair hangs over? You want to catch those hairs with your shears, okay? It doesn't look like the hairs are hanging over whenever you look at it like this, but obviously from the top angle you can see it. Now we're just gonna put some finishing touches on the taper. Make sure that everything looks good. Man, that taper is fire. I don't care what nobody say. I do care what y'all say, but anybody else, I don't care what they say. Man, that taper look good. Let me know in the comments, man. 1 out of 10. What is this taper? Rate this taper 1 out of 10. Let me know. Let me know. If I'm tripping, let me know. If it's lined up crooked, let me know. If I missed a spot in the fade, let me know. You feel me? Cause I feel like I'm stamping my work. You feel what I'm saying? I'm standing on all 10, man. I'm standing on real business behind this. And as you should, man. This is another tip that's gonna take you from good to great. Whenever you start standing behind your work, like, yeah, that's me, I did that. It's gonna make you take more pride in your work. Whenever you looking at your work like, yeah, I'm really him. You know what I'm saying? I'm him. It make you have a different type of swag whenever it comes to cutting. I'm not saying be arrogant, but believe in yourself, man. You could do it. You could do anything, man. This stuff is not something that is impossible to obtain.
All right, bro say he don't even need the mirror. Mid taper or low taper still?
Low taper looks better.
It's more pronounced, like it.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Be right.
Off top. You know what I'm saying? Alright guys, so that's the tutorial. I just want to say thank y'all for watching another video. DoneRight, I told y'all, call me DoneRight. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And share this video if it helped you and it could help another barber. DoneRight out. Stay tuned for the next one.